non-killing thing, give me the hammer, I'm gonna kill this guy. That's just not gonna happen. So, I don't think he can do it. The only character I think that exists in the universe of DC or Marvel, in DC per se, might be Wonder Woman. I don't know, I'd have to think about that, but that's because she's really a warrior. As an Amazon, she's a warrior. She's also very compassionate, and she has a side that invokes cooperation rather than conflict. But she is a warrior. And because of that, they've had the Amazons in the myths have had to go to war, and they kill their enemies. So it might be that, well, even though Wonder Woman's, I don't know if she's still a statue that came to life or not in the continuity.
And then they changed it again.
Okay, well, so it may change at another time.
I'm sure they will.
So the result is, so I don't know, but I'd have to think about that, but she might be able to do it. But beyond that, I don't, so that's why I invented a whole new character. I invented a brand new character to pick up the hammer, because he had no past history with that stuff in the Marvel Universe, and I can tailor him to be the kind of guy who would be able to pick up the hammer. That's my goal.
As a reader, and you know how much I love those books, as a reader, it was perfectly logical that there would be other species out there that would do it.
Oh yeah.
Pick up the hammer. But I'm with you on the other.
Yeah. So I mean, I get it, but.
Thank you so much for coming and sharing your time with us today.
Sorry for rambling on internal.
I don't know. Is anyone sorry? Is there one person in the room who's actually sorry?
Anybody have one more question? Really quick.
Artwork for your annual you mentioned, is that on your Facebook? Is this those pages?
Artwork for
your 4 annual unfinished.
That. There might be a couple of those pages on there. There'd be a Mac in ink. And yes, I have a couple of, because when I did the Surtur saga, when I got to the point where Surtur actually invades Asgard, breaks by the Bifrost, blows Heimdall off the bridge, clobbers Thor, and confronts Odin. That's a scene I had drawn in 1970. And I went back and I used as many of those layouts as I could in 352, that would have been maybe, or something. I think 353 was the climax, I think. But whatever it was, and I think I put a few of those, at least some of the panels up. And some of the panels I ripped off shamelessly. So yes, I think some of those are up on Facebook. Quick.
It's not a quick one.
Well,
I'll make it quick. My opinion is nobody got the new gods since Kirby other than you. And I'm wondering how tough and why do you think people have struggled to?
Well, they've struggled to sell those characters, which I'm not really sure why. Maybe Greg would have a better answer to that than I would. I don't have any good answer to why it hasn't sold. I mean, Darkseid has certainly become the cynical and on of villains in the DC universe.
But ever recapture that kind of Kirby, big epic?
No, I don't think they. I'm not sure Jack stuff sold that well by the end.
I thought you were talking about sales. I mean,
Yeah.
talking about your approach to the characters.
I just get you. At least in that stuff.
Honestly, that's the way looking at it purely as a reader. That's right. You get and John again. Walter and I were talking about this before the con started. I thought John got Jack. John obviously loves Jack. There's no question about it.
Yep.
But there's a different kind of energy in those romans that you just don't see in the other DC guys. And mind you, there's some every once in a while you'll see I saw an odd page by Paris Collins not that long ago of Orion. It was like really very dramatic and lots of energy. Yeah. And I was thinking to myself, but as a total, I agree with you. Those other things just didn't quite get.
I will say
that makes it. Oh, I'm sorry. You mentioned Darkseid. The best thing that ever happened to DC was the fact that Jack created Darkseid because it gave them a villain worthy of the superpower.
Yeah. And the other thing is that I love Jack stuff. I was very influenced by it. I didn't say it specifically, but one of the I didn't love the Jack stuff. I couldn't emulate, and I didn't try to copy it. The idea is to try and take stuff from it and get the effects, but not. And the thing I loved about Jack stuff, maybe the most when I first read it, was the energy. His stuff just exploded off the page. Even quiet stuff, when guys were gesturing or doing stuff, they just had a dynamism to them. And whatever it is I do, that's what I've tried to capture in Jack stuff. Not scale, and not just the, I don't know, cool designs, but the idea that there's just an energy in everything that gets done. And part of that dissolves in my drawing, or resolves, whatever the word was, down to, I want the drawing to look, I just laid it right down on the paper. And in actual fact, I worked my ass off to get it to look like I just did nothing. It's the way good music, when musicians play, you don't see the hundreds and hundreds of hours back there. They spent learning to go, and just make it look like it's nothing. And that's why I want the drawing. I also make this with my art school stuff, I want the marks on the paper to be alive. I saw Van Gogh. There were a couple of big Van Gogh shows in New York in the early 80s. Just everything was fabulous. And one of the things they had was, there was two giant pencil drawings just out the door. Pencil drawings like fields, not plowed fields, harvested fields. So the stubble was in the ground. And there was a high, I'll get out in a second, almost there. There's a high horizon, and the stubble's all there. It's all pencil. And when you look at it, you see the big stubble, little stubble, you see the distance, the depth, the horizon, little clouds scudding by, whatever it is. When you walk up close to it, it's just pencil marks. It's just like, so what you have is you have the three-dimensional drawing that you look into, and you get close, you see it, the two-dimensional flat surface of the paper with the marks on it, and that's what I want my art